Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the SFL Season 27 Free Agency Frenzy Show. I'm SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine. This old man has still got it. 27 seasons. We are back, people. Zach Holdor for the $5 Super Chat getting us started. The show can start now that the Corn King is in the house. Got 62 of you watching along. This day started with Nick Fargo signing with the DC Dragons. He signed for $4.7 million, and he re-signed at those rates. Max strength, max agility, still on Fargo. Alden says SFL 30 is going to be something special. Yeah, let's hope so. Pauly Truth, $5.5 million. He's the highest contract signed. He's not maxed in anything, but he's close to it in a bunch of different areas. Back in Chicago. Paul Alazar is marked in yellow. Of course, he was a developmental player, so it says signing with a new team, but he returns with Los Angeles. And we got a few other signings, bunch of re-signings out of Lexington. By my count, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 came across earlier today. Lexington Miners off to a good start there. Los Angeles as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 sign back with LA at least to start. DC had some sprinkled in there. Nick Fargo, Mike Wagner, Sam Harrison, Jay Hayden. Oklahoma City got rolling a couple hours ago. Tiberius Bovine, Parker Thomas, Johnny Pickler, the first three across the wire. Minnesota had a bunch, including re-signing Johnny Reno and Colin Hart. You can see they went in order by position. Plenty of re-signings there in Minnesota. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Isaac Knox, the latest. Of course, there's been some adjustments to the Minnesota ownership group. And then Houston also getting going. DR Sim, Barry Simeon, John Lakeman off the board. Every team was looking over the transactions on the backside of things. Every team's got contracts out there and ready to get players signed starting today. And eventually we'll get some teams signing some players here today on the show. But until then, we sit back and wait. We got our first guest coming up in a couple of minutes. Mickey Melillo of Bossier City. All right, there's our first official free agent signing coming across the wire. Devontae Moore leaving Lexington and signing with Los Angeles, $794,000 at corner. So the Lycans make the first move of the day. Plenty of moves coming, however, and those are included with the Bossier City Steamers. And here with us, I have Mickey Melillo of Bossier City. How are you doing, Mickey?
Cam, I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just antsy to get signings going and see where everybody ends up. Of course, coming off a season with back-to-back defending champs from the same team, Vancouver, you just you wonder as commissioner around the league, what are teams doing to take the next step? So in your view, what are the things that Bossier City's taken to take the next step this offseason?
Well, I think a lot of things that we did is we saw how we started and we needed to get our offense going. So we did sign some offensive players to help put more points on the board. We relied a lot, and we talked about this last season on the free agent frenzy. We relied a lot on our personal relationships with our ownership group, our GM group, and truly networking to be able to get some people over to Louisiana and the Bossier City Steamers.
Jack Wigmore was the surprise player of the season in season 26. And, sometimes, you can look at like an Ivory Irvin from Miami who saw that drop-off from his Baltimore days. Wigmore didn't see a drop-off. He actually saw an increase. What was Jack like throughout the season, sort of, watching things unfold and seeing how well he was playing?
Jack was fantastic. He was there. He saw some of the shortcomings and worked with the GM and the coaching staff to be able to see what he can do to not throw the interceptions in the red zone, because that was one of our downfalls at the beginning of the season. So he really listened, did what he had to do, progressed what he had to progress, and as you said, surprise player of season 26. So he listened, he did great, he was fantastic in the locker room. I was always cheering him on, and Jack has been a great teammate.
Signings coming through. We got a free agent signing over from Detroit. King Jamal is going to Houston, taking over for Al Ingram, who announced that he was leaving Houston earlier in the day. A $3.8 million contract for King Jamal. Of course, Chris Henry, the king of Houston, may have some new competition with King Jamal rolling through there. But a bunch of Bossier City signings coming through, as Mickey was talking. Speedy Gonzalez, Jukin Rukin, Stogie, Rogi, Yogi, Hoagie. Bars are back. Ladon McBrownski's back. Vin Calia, Jeff Banfield, Garrison Blue, Jabu McSlim, Jesus Smith, Bogey Barr, Freddie Tremmel, Michaela Foraker, Stuart Zomilia, Billy Beer, Zach Holdorf, Rob Foraker, Rob Noel, Mickey Melillo, and Robert Nimchek all back. It speaks, Mickey, to, I think, what the players in Bossier City saw out of the team last season. Came short of your ultimate goal, but pushed the Washington Trident to the brink there in that opening round playoff game.
No, we did. We went from a team that couldn't make the playoffs, and we made the playoffs, and we were a lock before the last games of last season. So we did what we had to do, and you're right. The amount of re-signings that we have there is just a testament to the team, to the leadership, the ownership group there, on how much of a family and supportive nature that we have there in Bossier City. And we do have a couple of free agent signings for you. So this first one, if you want to refresh, is the former punter that I brought over from Minnesota. She hasn't played in a while, but if you refresh, you'll see my sister joining us in Louisiana.
Minnie Melillo, welcome back into the fold. Special teams are as valuable as ever.
No, absolutely. And when they wanted to bring Minnie over, I was very happy. The Mickey and Minnie combo was great in the forest green. I'm welcoming it in the Columbia blue.
Trellis Blanton comes in as a signing for the DC Dragons. How about that? Leaves Miami after that one season stint there. He kind of backed up Iman Kopech, never really got any playing time. by way of Denver. And that is an interesting signing because in all the days of the DC Dragons, Shabazz Synergy has been the guy. So Trellis Blanton coming over there, maybe a changing of the guard over there in DC. I know that Mullinex announced after their playoff loss that he was stepping away from coaching. So interesting things going on in DC. Your thoughts, Mickey, while I got you here on that?
Well, you're right. Synergy has been the guy over there in DC. Seeing Trellis, who I played with in the minors when we won the championship with the Adams, seeing him going over there, that might be maybe a specialty type of quarterback to play behind Synergy, to be able to run certain plays, swing, rushes. I'm not sure, but it's very interesting to see Trellis go over to the Dragons.
All right, I got another refresh, Mickey, and I got a couple of big signings. You want to talk about them? Because these are some big ones coming over from the now gone Florida Storm.
Yeah, well, the dark clouds are rising. It's coming from east to west, and it's landing in Louisiana.
Bullet
Boletsky and Art Vandelay coming over to the Columbia Blue Bossier City Steamers.
$4.2 million for Bullet. That he joins Rob Noel in the backfield. Robert Nimchek moving over to wide receiver to make room. I think that most people would say that Bossier City's pass game was on point last season, but the run game was hit and miss. How does Bullet recreate that backfield motivation?
Well, between the Rob and Rob combo that we had last year between Noel and Nemchek, it started off very slow. We had got it rolling here and there, certain games, but it wasn't consistent. Bringing over Bullet is going to be somebody where we have a monster, two-headed monster in the backfield, 1-2 punch going down the field. You're going to see Bossier City's running game just go to the next level for season 27.
Art Vandelay also comes in at tight end, $2.2 million. That's where he played last season with Florida. So he joins Garrison Blue, who was the star of the offense last season, quite frankly, at tight end. So you've got a pair of tight ends, a pair of running backs, plenty of wide receivers, a young wide receiving group, Mickey, but one that is anchored by those veterans, Kalia and Bamfield. Plenty of weapons in Bossier City.
Absolutely, but Cam, I think you made a mistake. Take a look at Art's. He's not a tight end with us.
Oh, that's right. He did move over. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong place. Yes, moves over to back to wide receiver. So it's Vandelay, Nemchek, Bamfield, Kalia, and McBrownski at the wide receiving core.
Yeah, we have a lot of targets for Jack to throw to this year. A lot of big name targets. Not in adding Garrison Blue to the mix on how great he was for us from the tight end position. We're going to be a threat on both land, sea, and air this coming season.
Now, for Bossier City coming into season 27, who do you see as outside of Vancouver, right? Who do you have your eye on as, if we're going to take the next step, we've got to go out and beat those guys?
I'm going to say Detroit. Detroit was a team to reckon with all year last year. So I think they're going to be a team, other than obviously Vancouver, the Legion, back-to-back champions. They're always going to be the team that everybody's going to gun for. But Detroit, they're the next best thing. They were dominant all season long in 26, and I think that's the team that every team wants to say we beat.
Mickey, does that take you to 26? Is that all for Bossier City? We got more surprises?
That is it for right now. Waiting for a couple of more signings to come through. They just haven't been done yet, but we are at 26.
Very good, Mickey. What's new in the life of Mickey Melillo these days?
Just doing my normal stuff, working, got promoted. That it was a little tough for me to have some free time, so that's why you haven't heard me the past 2 seasons on the broadcast team. I'm hoping to change that for season 27, but just living life. The few more pieces needed for the costume for Denver, but I think people will love it. It's not going to be as elaborate as as the Minnesota Sasquatch, but it is something, and people will have fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, so you're not going to dress up as a boat, so what's the angle here?
Well, if I came as a boat, I mean, I'm already wide enough. I'd just be able to get in the room. It is, we talked about it at season 26 Free Agent Frenzy. Steamboat Mickey, steering the ship, being the captain.
I love it, Mickey. Well, congrats on the promotion and the success that you had last season, going from Minnesota to Bossier City, and how the Steamers are rising and have taken over Louisiana. And for y'all's sake, hopefully the South of the SFL. Mickey, it was great talking with you. Any final words or thoughts before you head out?
Cam, thank you for having me today. SFL Nation, always good to talk in front of you. I hope you get to hear my voice more. And for those that are going, I'll be seeing you in Denver.
We'll see you in Denver, Mickey. Take care.
Bye now.
All right, that was Mickey Melillo of the Bossier City Steamers. Quite the haul for Bossier City. They got Boletsky and Noel at running back, Wigmore at quarterback, 5 wide receivers. You got Garrison Blue out there at tight end at $3.2 million. This is a team that most certainly has what it takes. Speedy Gonzalez back at fullback. Of course, the defense is in full force as well. A couple signings coming in during that call. Stephon Forge and Carly Forge back in Minnesota. And then we also had the first pair of re-signings from the back-to-back defending champs, Christian Brown and Brett Killian. Coming up next in a few minutes, it is Robert Thump and John Fullerton, I'm a little rusty. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Free Agency Frenzy as we take another refresh. We've got the Miami Stingrays getting their first signings coming across the wire. Iman Kopech off the dev team, back with the Miami Stingrays at $2.7 million. They also re-sign Al Dillapre Sr., Khalil Thomas, Ben Bowman, Sam Blotner. Plenty more to come from Miami. Right now, we have the owner of the Washington Trident, Robert Thump, here with us to talk Washington Trident football. How are you doing, Robert?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Of course, Washington coming off of a season where they beat Bossier City in the first round of the playoffs, and then took the two-time defending champs to the brink. How did you feel the season went last year?
Yeah, wasn't living up to our expectations, right? Hold ourselves to our high standard in Washington. We want to get better every year. And while we had a good season and we had a consistent season of, back-to-back wins, and I think that was probably the first time in the franchise's history that we ever made playoffs back-to-back and had a win, right? So consistency is good, but we need to make that next step. And being stagnant is not good enough for us. So we're looking to take that next step this year and see what we can do.
How has Vancouver won back-to-back championships, and how does the SFL get out of dynasty culture, Robert? I mean, it's just dating all the way back to season 17. It's a cycle we've been in.
Yeah, I don't know if we got some dynasty culture because I feel like we're building one in Washington. I think Vancouver had a nice run, but it's our turn now, and I'm ready for it.
All right. Well, we're ready to see what's going on in Washington. A ton of re-signings. Let's get to those first. Of course, John Fullerton across the free agency wire as well. John will join us here in a moment. But all your guys coming back for you, Robert. What were the conversations like with the team after the playoff loss, and since then as you build towards season 27?
Yeah, honestly, Cam, I don't know if I could have asked for a better start than what was St. Louis and Motor City. The whole team is just all in all the time, and I love it. Anytime I've asked for something to, try to help us out, anytime I've asked for, hey, can we cut this to get to this point, to do this, it's all about building for the future and being better. Not just one game, not just one season, not just a little bit of time, but for the long run, and to continue to build towards that dynasty. Like we had talked about. So bringing John on was a big part of that too, because we noticed we had struggled with man coverage. We played DC at home. We won because of that one touchdown reception, right? With great defensive game, but the offense just couldn't get it clicking. So we felt bringing John on, resigning as many guys as we did, is really going to do that for us. We don't have the 35-man roster, 60-man roster, you want to call it. We had the previous season, but we definitely feel more refined, like that 10-2 season where we're ready to get going.
Yeah, so let's talk John before I bring John on. You guys, he was an owner in Chicago and essentially, left that squad to come, play with you guys amongst a room of wide receivers that includes Shane Kaufman, Phil Koss, Julian Gusters, Azami Mahata at tight end. So how did those conversations even begin with John?
Well, so, I met John back in the SFLM, so I've known John for a while. I met John in my first convention in Houston where we played football. I think we beat you guys, Cam.
I think so.
Yeah. So, we had a good time there. We had fun there. Ty was a quarterback, right? So we've always had good conversations. And we've always been pretty good friends for the most part. So it kind of just happened naturally. I always kind of bugged him like, hey, bro, you going to come over finally? And he goes, you know what, man? Yeah, let's do it. So I was excited to bring him on, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it should be an exciting addition to the team. Let's bring John on. Mr. Fullerton, are you there with us?
Yes, sir. What's up, Cam?
What's up, John?
What's going on?
All right, so of all the teams you could have gone, why Washington? And then, what happened in Chicago that you felt like you needed to change?
Well, first off, I do want to say just thank you to everybody that reached out. Hitting the free agency first time in I don't know how many seasons now or years was kind of astonishing. I didn't expect that much of a reception or incoming talk. So I do want to thank everybody that reached out to me first. But honestly, with Washington, I think it was just again, Robert's already said it. We've kind of been talking, and those pieces have been coming together and everything. And I think I've always seen Robert's just passion for the game, passion for trying to do better, passion with trying just anything that he does. There's passion behind it, and I mean, you've already seen what he's done with what was beforehand with Motor City, now Washington. So that kind of spoke volumes for me. As far as Chicago goes, there's nothing for me to say, nothing bad or whatnot. I think it was just one of those times where I kind of was just looking at myself and just personal life choices too. Things are moving fast as far as my career goes, and just I can't have the time to devote to a player, two players beneath me, as far not beneath me I would say, but people just that are looking up towards me, and I can't give that time and effort like plenty of other people can. So that was one of the major decisions of why I wanted to step down in the first place and to leave Chicago too. I just wanted something brand new, just wanted something different, just wanted to try something. I mean, as you see, my history right now, I was with Chicago/Seattle for a good minute, so I just wanted to try something new too. You know what I mean?
I feel like I say this every year, but I don't think players who have been on the same team for so long, they don't realize how good it feels to be wanted. And then when that happens in an off season, it sort of, I don't know, reignites a fire of like, wow, like this league is alive. There's really a lot going on behind the scenes. Is that kind of how it felt? And what were some different tactics that some of the teams used, and how did they separate themselves?
Just I mean, you put it right there on the nail on the head right there. Just I was just astonished because it was some teams that reached out to me, and I literally told them like, no disrespect, but I had not anticipate that at all. That was pretty crazy for just some of the teams that come up to me and say, hey, we want you. So I was like, wow, like that's pretty cool. Like it wasn't some teams that were on my watch list, I would say. There was some other teams that I reached out personally to, and they said, hey man, we would love to have you, but we already had some other stuff going on. So I was like, that's cool. But overall too was just like, this whole process just felt weird. It really did, but it was like you said, that fire was ignited. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I did not anticipate this. I did not expect it. Just I didn't want to be all high and mighty about myself, but I was just like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Robert, when you talk to free agents, is it a similar pitch, or does it change depending upon your relationship and who you know?
Yeah, I try to get to know people as people, right, Cam? The league is whatever. I can fix a player bill. I can't fix a person, right? So when I look for people or people to bring on or who I think can fit our culture and help us take to that next level, it's really, do you as a person fit? Do you possess the qualities that we look for in a person, the teammate, and somebody we want on the team? So I really think that, John kind of is that guy for us, right? He has a great player build, which is nice. But as a person, you can ask for a better guy to walk in, and I don't have to worry about, missing progressions, or I don't have to worry about, complaining about reps in general chat or anything like that. So we look for people as people, and then when we try to reach out to somebody, we go, hey, do you fit us? Do we fit you? Are you happy here? And then we go from there.
John, I know you're in Arizona. That's a short rock skip from Denver. Will we see you this summer?
You know what? It's the plan was to potentially go out there again and whip some butts into some flag football and everything else like that too. But apparently, I did get some great news today that unfortunately, I think maybe next month I'll have to start prepping for some things, and I potentially won't be able to make the convention though.
So just today, you got some good news?
Yes, I did.
Some good life news. You're not. How can you tease that and then not share it on the
I mean,
broadcast?
Cam, it's obvious he's going to Washington, right? That's the good news.
That's it.
That's obvious. What the good news is, he's going to Washington.
No, it's that good, but too just trying to further my career with the law enforcement, and I was actually accepted to the I was given a conditional offer for police officer
Nice,
from where I'm
dude.
working at right now too.
Nice.
So
Nice job,
pumping
John.
myself mentally and physically, and just the time right now and everything. Just I want to be more locked in and more ready, and just that news is kind of some big news, and I'm looking forward to that. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put the convention on the back burner just because of timing. So
Well, what a day for John Fullerton in the life of John Fullerton. That's amazing.
Yes.
Robert, what's the
Yeah.
how does Washington go from a perennial playoff team to a perennial title winner? What's the next step you hope to take this season?
Yeah. So the next step in every season, the step is to win the chip, right? We kind of overextended ourselves with the 35 players that we had last season, right? Spread ourselves a little bit too thin and got off kind of to a slow start a little bit because of that. So this year we really looked to redefine our roster, figure out, okay, cool, let's move some money here, move some money there, and do what's best for us overall, and come out hopefully as a hot start and just continue it the whole rest of the way and be a title contender throughout. Not have that sluggish start we've had the past 2 seasons where we've had to run off 8, 9, 10 wins in a row, whatever that may be, to get to an 8-4 record or a 10-2 record or whatever that is. So 8, 9 win seasons or a couple 8 win seasons after the 10 win season is nice, but that's not our standard, and we expect more from ourselves as coaches and as owners, as a team.
All right, I'll give you guys the final word, gentlemen. Anything else?
No, I think we're good. I think we're excited to have John. We're excited to have everybody else in the roster, and we're excited to run it back and go win the West and then go win the chip.
John?
Not much for me, man. Just thank you for having me on. I appreciate Washington for bringing me on, and hey, tried it. Let's get it going.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, thanks, gentlemen, for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Cam. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Ken. Appreciate you.
That was John Fullerton and Robert Thump of Washington, a big free agent acquisition for the Washington Trident as they fill out their roster. Coming up, it's Jason Peace of the Philadelphia Cougars, the newest team to join the SFL, coming up from the minors. Before we take just a little break, Chicago loses J.J. Bailey, who is converting over to linebacker at $3.2 million from strong safety. So Minnesota bulking up that defense just before we hit the break. And we've got a whole bunch of more signings before we take a quick break. Joshua Durr back in Washington, Ezekiel Bear, John Michael Sutta, 3 signing in Vancouver. Anchorage with a ton of signings and a ton of yellow names as well. Let's put a pin in Anchorage. Let's jump up to Miami's Benji Matson, back in the league after his stint with Baltimore, a $3 million contract at tight end for Miami. John Smith is back in Los Angeles. All right, so Anchorage has a bunch of signings coming across, but how about Meliodas Manning from Chicago? The Warriors losing a bunch here to start the free agency period. Manning signs a $3.6 million deal at cornerback. Bobby Green comes over from Bossier City at linebacker, $1.7 million deal. Tigga Clay comes over from Minnesota at a $1.9 million deal. Anchorage really putting in some work here. Greg McDonaldson over from Florida. Joseph Wade as well, the dynamic duo there, just shy of $2 million. Leon Sandcastle from Miami. There was a crowded tight end room there. He will join Anchorage for $1 million. And then Rob Hunt was the most efficient receiver on the Detroit Maulers. He comes over and signs a $1.8 million contract. I think he was catching 70% of his targets, I think Charles and I were talking about during the championship game. So a big get at wide receiver there for Anchorage, who also has Ryan Davis and Guy Clausen at receiver. Jason Peace is coming up shortly as free agency frenzy continues right here on VFN. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Free Agency Frenzy. Now joining the show is the owner of Philadelphia Cougars, Jason Peace. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Cam. It's good to be here. Congrats to everybody on one of my two favorite days of the year, man. I love signing day.
What has it been like, Jason, leaving your longtime home of Houston and finally getting a chance to elevate the Philadelphia Cougars up into the pros?
It's been a while. It's been a whirlwind month, man. Going from, I never figured I would ever leave Houston, and figured I was just going to be a player and be the DC. And then when this all came up, it was a little bit of shock at first. But I tell you, seeing that Philadelphia logo up here with everybody else's logos on the screen it's amazing. I love it, and I'm excited. And it's been a little bit of a journey to get here, but it finally set in once we got, I think, our first big person that said they were going to come to us. I think that's when it finally set in. And all right, hey, we're actually doing this.
Yeah. So what was we'll get to all those signings as I just refreshed here in a moment. What was the I'm seeing that that is so annoying. That the logo never got changed. Anyway, Jason, you'll forgive me, right? You know it's not my fault.
Oh yeah.
But
they all got signed the same.
what was the mindset of you and Chris to build this team up for season 27? Where do you start as a team that's that's trying to do something big in their first season?
Well, I think initially, we came in, hoping that we would get a pretty good chunk of the Florida players coming back, and we were able just to build pieces around that because they obviously had a very good core. So we were hoping for that, but within about the first, week of reaching out, we and Chris are looking around, and we pretty much had a roster of Chris, myself, and Daisy Peace. And that was all we had. We had one player that was willing to return, and a couple players reached out and said they were going to go ahead and move on, and that was about it. So it went from, we're exciting, all the excitement of doing it to, oh my God, what are we going to do? How are we going to fill this roster, to just, getting started and going to work and bringing in, Chris did a lot, I did a lot. Carlos came in and has done a ton. So, and then the proof is in the pudding. I think we're going to have I think we reloaded up pretty well.
So let's start with Aunt Tim, who came in first. $4.8 million, obviously gets a huge pay bump after he was backup in Los Angeles. Is that just an opportunity taken to say, look, I get to be a starter somewhere?
Yeah, I think that's it. And and all the years in Houston, Damon showed me one thing: is the value of a good running game. So you got to have that. You got to have that stud back, and we think Aunt Tim can definitely come in and do it. Obviously, Bullett's moved on. We would have loved to have kept him, but we think we reloaded with somebody that can step right in and be that feature back. So, yeah, and you got to have it. So he was one of the early ones that came on and said that we're going to get. He's one of the ones that got the ball rolling. So we're excited to see him get his first touchdown in a Cougar uniform.
You also have Tom Rahman coming over from Oklahoma City in his last stint. And Rahman has kind of bounced around since returning to the league, but he's never really been on. He's never had his moment, right? His moment in the sun coming back into the fold. So how were you able to convince Tom this isn't going to be like an Oklahoma City rebuild? This isn't going to be like getting buried in the minors. Like how did you convince him that Philly was the place to go?
Well, Tom's been there with us in the minors, so that one was actually pretty easy. He's been there in the minors. He's seen how we operated in the minors. He saw how we treat players, and and the kind of locker room that we try to build. So Tom coming over, was he was pretty much like. So I guess when I said we had 3, we pretty much knew we had 4. We knew we had 4. We had Tom too.
Yeah. So that's a great pickup there. Ronnie Shanahan at wide receiver, Smithers Witherson at wide receiver comes over from Fort Worth. He just didn't have the targets there that I don't think that he would have wanted. And then Peace also, coming over. That's not a huge surprise. So those are the first 5 for Philadelphia. Your thoughts on those on the offensive side, Jason?
Well, I think that's part of when you're somebody new and trying to build a roster from scratch. You're going to have to offer people, hey, this is your chance to get involved and get some targets. I think Daisy's gonna have her breakout season at tight end. Smithers is another former Philly guy in the minors, so he was a guy that was ready to come over and rejoin and wear that Cougar uniform again. So when you're doing this, when you're new, and you don't have the pedigree and the pros, you need people to take chances on you. And some of that's going to be reaching out to players that giving them their moment to shine. And I think the next few are going to be the next few are kind of the same type of thing.
Lexington's in your division, Jason, and I think they might have the biggest roster in the league. This is unbelievable. They've got Jacob Farmer and Ezekiel Love back from the Portland days. They're coming back into the backfield, a completely reshaped backfield. It's been a while since I've seen that Portland Fleet logo around. And then Joe Beasley coming over from Anchorage. You got C.J. Parrish from Detroit signing with Lexington. Ricky Phillips at tackle, another Portland guy. Mel Davis, another Portland guy coming back over. These are they're a new rivalry, but an old rivalry too, because you played with Lexington when they were down in the minors too.
Oh, absolutely. We're excited to renew the Keystone Cup with Pittsburgh and to renew the things with Lexington and getting to play JW in Detroit. I think we landed in a really good spot. We should have a couple more offensive signings coming in here, and then we're going to move on to the defensive side of the ball.
All right,
Chris is pushing the contracts while we're talking.
Connie Cook comes over from DC at offensive line. Offensive line is one of those things where sometimes teams just don't get any because they're so hard to come by. So I know that even though it's a $1 million contract, it's an important one for you guys.
It is, and you're exactly right. I think, and especially as a new franchise, that is the hardest position to pull off.
So Connie Cook over at $1 million, and then Victor Ironleg at kicker, also from DC. They had a couple kickers last season, so I guess they can manage to lose one, right?
Yeah, and that's another one that Victor's a late guy coming in, and we're so glad to get him because we were looking at what we could do in a draft maybe or something, but getting that kicker, getting Victor is, man, it's a big weight off the shoulder because you have to have a kicker. You have to have somebody that can kick from beyond the at least the 48, 49 yard line and get you those points.
Yeah, no question. Let's move to the defensive side of the ball. Ron Hoff comes over from Vancouver. This is a guy that is a 2-time defending champion, and it was one of the best corners on the team. Please, Jason, how did that happen? Because that might be the biggest name that we've seen so far across Philadelphia.
He's got ties to Philadelphia. His daughter went to Penn State. We got to talking, so we're calling him a hometown hero. Man, so excited to get Ron. As a DC and as a defensive guy, having a lockdown corner on that side and having somebody with championship pedigree. I mean, as you're going to see as we get these guys signed, I mean, we've managed to put together some names from some some championship teams, some deep playoff teams. There's a few more still to come, but Ron is definitely he's at the tip of the spear with that. He's going to lock down one side of that field for us. Couldn't be happier that he was willing to give us the chance.
Jad McPherson, I remember him a couple seasons at Oklahoma City. He was a standout on that defense. Then he goes to Chicago and he plays really well. On the defensive line, you're moving him back to linebacker in your defensive scheme.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. We got plans for linebacker. They'll be coming up here shortly.
All right, I think we've got some more coming across. How about Ethan Flowers, the quarterback that fell just short in the championship from Detroit? He is headed to Philadelphia on a $3.6 million contract. Your conversations with Ethan, how'd that go?
Ethan kind of came to us a little bit, and we're so glad that again to have him. Another guy that just played in a championship game, played super well during the playoffs, played good enough to win the whole thing, and already just in the conversations, he's going to be a great locker room guy. He's the perfect QB1 because he's got a leader. He's got a good build. He's a good player. He's been in the league. He's not going anywhere. He's super excited. And I've had teams before where you have a quiet QB1, and Ethan is not that guy. He's going to be a vocal leader, and that's a big part of this is it's fun. This league is supposed to be fun. So winning is fun, but also you got to have people that are fun to be around and fun to spend time with. Because heck, we spend 10 months out of the year communicating. At least you might get a little quiet during the off season, but with this group, I don't even know there's going to be any quietness during the off season. Because so far, everyone is just locked in.
Thomas and Rahman at $1.9 million at corner will play opposite of Ron Hoff, another Rahman returning into the fold. What else we got coming up, Jason?
The next two are going to be the next big ones. They should be coming in really quick. I know he's pushing the button as fast as he can.
All right, while we wait on that, young Vaught, another Baltimore Vulture returning, going to Miami at strong safety at $2.3 million. That Baltimore to Miami connection is still strong. We also did not get a chance to talk about Dante Grimm. He last played for Louisiana. He is going to Lexington at corner. We also have Rick Evans, formerly of Oklahoma City, comes over at free safety, or is moving to free safety to Lexington at $2.4 million. Carolina gets their first signings across. Skip Palmer, Tristan Hatley, Mojo McClain, Phil Hall, Christopher Cologne, Kate Palmer, Chase Earl, Adam Banks, Riley Quintero, all back for Carolina. The largest of those contracts belongs to Quintero at $4.1 million. And then Josh Gint, the kicker for Minnesota, the rookie kicker last year, had a good year, is also back in Minnesota. Okay, now we've got our signings, and I got to start with wow. I'm not sure where to start. Take your pick, Jason. These are some pretty big ones.
Let me see. I'm looking at the screen right now. Which one popped up?
Mike St. Green, John Fowler, or Chris Henry?
There you go. There's just some big ones. So MSG, finally getting him out of DR shadow. We're looking forward to him getting an opportunity to be wide receiver one. I think it's going to be a perfect connection with Ethan. John, I've had a relationship with John for about 3 years in and out of the SFL. So now I guess it shows me I will be moving to free safety, and there's one guy in the league that I would have given up my inside linebacker spot for, and it was John. So we reached out, and he was willing to give us a chance, and he's another guy that's came in just guns a-blazing. Now we've got a defensive player of the year, another former, three-time All-Star, two-time champion. So again, trying to build this thing with some players that have playoff and championship pedigree. So John is fired up. John's he might be one of the most fired up people I've ever seen in coming into a situation. And I'm excited to play free safety. I never thought I'd leave inside linebacker, but I think I can play in the secondary and thrive out there. So I'm excited about that. And then Chris Henry, having him in Houston the last 2 seasons, and King Hybrid, he's a guy that I was able to move around all over the field, and he just plays well wherever you put him. So having that relationship with him personally, and him saying, are you going to be the guy that's running the defense, because I want to come play for you, and having him sign, that meant a lot to me.
Yeah, I wanted to you mentioned moving out of linebacker and giving John Fowler that spot. Fowler's coming off back-to-back record-breaking seasons for pass deflections as a linebacker. Does that make you nervous to to try to live up to that for him?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think coming from playing that position and building a defense, I think I know how to, put inside linebackers into a good spot. And I think he's just a special player, man. He flashes all over the field every time we play. Every time we play him, he'd have 10, 11, 12 tackles. He does things better than my player did. And I think my strengths will really translate better to free safety. So I think as a team, we are better with John playing inside linebacker for sure. And as long as I don't foul it up playing at free safety, I think we've got the start of a pretty stellar defense. And I think we have high expectations coming out right out of the gate.
You're going to be sending some crazy blitzes with that max pass rush, Jason, over free safety.
Yes, sir.
Don't think I didn't notice that. You don't see that every day off of free safety.
Eddie says I blitz everybody every single play. So, you might see a little bit more of that, but just when you think that's coming, I might drop everybody back. You never know, but I am excited about the position change. But I'm more excited about the people that were willing to, like I said, we have nothing, no pedigree. We've done our best in the minors, but you're not working with an actual SFL roster. So for some of these guys to leave teams where they knew they were going to make deep playoff runs pretty much every year to come and have a leap of faith with us, man, it just means the world to all of us.
Thomas Rahman Jr. also joining the team at corner. We'll follow along with more signings as they come through for Philadelphia. But Jason, thanks for joining the show, and good luck this season. And looking forward to seeing that Cougar logo in place there on the transaction log here soon.
Hey, thanks for all you do. Try to not pull the rest of your hair out, and we appreciate it. We love this stuff.
Yes, sir, Jason. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was Jason Peace of the Philadelphia Cougars, and looking forward to that. Want to give a shout out to Ashley Jackson, who's got the Vancouver Legion podcast coming up tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. So a championship celebration special. You'll want to check that out. Got a bunch of champions from Vancouver joining the pod, and if you want to know what it feels like to win a championship and what you're aspiring for and what you're gunning for, you can check out that show later tonight on the SFL Knights and Arizona Scorpions YouTube channel. J.W. Hartshorn of Detroit comes your way next as Free Agency Frenzy continues. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Free Agency Frenzy. I am here with Detroit Maulers J.W. Hartshorn, here to talk some Detroit Maulers signings. Just before we get to that, a couple of free agents coming across for the Carolina Skyhawks. Coming over from Florida, Daniel Wright, the former Minnesota Legend player, $4.9 million at free safety. So a big signing in Carolina's secondary. And then Adam Grabowski from Los Angeles, a $1.9 million contract at tight end. So Carolina getting some things moving there. But now we shift over to the runners-up from season 26, the Detroit Maulers. How you doing, JW?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to see, a lot of our former teammates get their chance out. Finding a new way to write a story for themselves in the league, and I'm excited for all of them. But I'm also I am pleased this Punch to actually finally get to showcase this roster we've been building this offseason.
Pleased as Punch. Haven't heard that one before. That's where'd you get that from?
Something my grandfather always said, and I give him a lot of crap, but it's fun to have just old phrases and stuff that your family would throw at you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Don't mind
Hey,
me.
shout out to Doug Day, who's got those SFL doctors. Total knee replacement today. He'll be good for week 1. So good to see Doug getting out of surgery okay. And shout out to you, Mr. Day. Glad everything went well. JW, you were talking just before we got on the air about how pumped up the team is for this day.
Oh yeah, the team chat was so loud I could barely think. But yeah, we got a bunch of the team together watching. They're probably laughing at how nervous I am.
Nervous? How could you be? Let's see. What was more nerve-wracking, JW, this or the championship game?
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I slept through like the first half of it. 'Cause
Oh.
I was up like almost 2 days straight working on the book. And, oh man,
Detroit's going to hate me for this one, JW, but so do the rest of the team. But,
yeah. I mean, hey, we showed up in the second half. I'll live with it.
well, let's get to some signings, JW. Excited to see what Detroit's got going.
All right. Well, starting off, we'll start off with the easy ones. Oh goodness, where is his name? If you want to refresh, we got three of our owner players will be back. Jack, Cherry, and Henson. Not really questioning it. They're all just amazing. They've been big in keeping me sane this offseason while I've been working on stuff. I'm also going to throw up some of our returning players. Where is it? We're going to be having Rashawn back after that amazing Rookie of the Year, Rookie of the Season campaign he had with us. He's going to be a real big problem for these defenses. But I want to actually especially give a shout out to the entire Henson family. I mean, you've got Robert, you got Porsche, and they've even brought in their daughter, Willow. And all three of them have been just dreams to have in the team. I mean, Henson took on a massive load this season in terms of running sims with us, kind of keeping us, going and reminding me not to overthink things because, well, that I'm a horrible person when it comes to that. We also are bringing back one of our standout players, Ramnar Sudi, as well as their twin sibling, Frodo Laggins, IRL. They have been a lot of fun getting to see them develop ever since, they signed with us as UDFAs. And, I mean, in our playoff run, both showed up big. Then, of course, I'll throw in our returning safety duo. Good old Deli and Jubilee Marsh. Sorry, I am absolutely nervous still.
You're good, JW. You got so many signings. I'm just letting you go.
Yep. I'll also throw in, our second and third members of the little internal group we've just known as the Ministers of Defense. Our linebacking group of Brown, Haddock, and Citrian. I mean, those three would come in different packages and just wreck things. I mean, especially Matthias, he could fit anywhere. We put him at defensive end, we put him at linebacker, we sometimes put him at corner and safety, and he was just absolutely a game wrecker. He's one of those players you love getting to build a defense around. And let's see. We also have one of my favorite
hold on,
players.
JW, just a second. This is it is so ridiculous. Vancouver is announcing signings during your segment, almost as if to say that it's their segment too. What do you have anything to say about that? That just seems like it just seems intentional.
And we'll see them. We'll see them in the championship again. No big worries. Yep. We're bringing back one of my favorite players that I've coached in my time ever since like the SFLM all the way to now, Brad Taylor Wright as our fullback. He is just an elite. He's an underrated runner, but when you get him out in the blocking, he is insane. Okay. Let's see. Looking over this, got a couple more I'm waiting on, but you know what? I'm not gonna forget him this time, because when he first signed here, I completely forgot him and I felt like an idiot. I want to welcome back our former defensive player of the season and one of the just brightest stars of our locker room, good old Sean Parent. He's always there. He's pretty much the guy that first message you see in the day, it's probably Sean. He's always coming out and having fun, trying to raise the spirits of everybody in that team, on the team, and keep ourselves from just getting in our own heads, primarily me, as I am in my head completely.
Well, who's playing quarterback, JW?
Well, this entire offseason, we've been talking about stuff about, like, you know what, like, Detroit, for the most part, we all view ourselves as a bit of a family. Sometimes, you know, like, life happens and players leave, but they'll always be part of the family. But that said, we wanted to strengthen our family. And, well, what better way to strengthen a family by bringing in, well, a family? So if you would like, you can go ahead and refresh.
Oh, wow. So, all right. So I had heard from the tea leaves maybe these people were going somewhere else. Didn't expect them to go to Detroit, as Dakota, Lenore, and Alexander West are all the newest members of the Maulers.
Oh yeah, you're also you can probably refresh again. There's a couple more with it. So this was a kind of a shot in the dark. It was something that kind of was figured out late in the season. It was how does one put this? We were looking at potentially bringing in Alex, and Alex was like, "Hey, so this my family's all like, you know, like we've all been thinking about this idea and stuff, and like everything." So the owners got together, made a vote on it, and we decided to bring in the whole West Clan. There's actually one more who I am not naming yet because he is currently working, but yeah, this group is going to be a lot of fun, and you know, just for fun, right? How many defensive linemen have I got up?
Oh gosh, testing my eyesight. I count 4.
Well, you know what? To finish this out for today's signings, just while we work on some stuff on a couple of other ones, I'll end this off with another member of the family, someone that I personally drafted, someone who even like even though he had stepped away from the team, he was still in the team chat. We always talked with him, always had fun. He always was just the life of the party, and he would say the most outlandish things. It just, he spent a couple seasons away, but it just wasn't right not having him back here in Detroit. Go ahead and refresh as we bring back
Seth Harrison.
Yep.
That feel good to finally get that across
Yes.
the wire as JW breathed a sigh of relief. Hey, how about Hudson Cruz, too? I want to touch on before we move on to our next segment, but Hudson Cruz was the $9 million man in Lexington and all that stuff, and he actually had a pretty good season in Lexington, but as we've seen all day long, Lexington's got a stacked team. Detroit has a stacked team, too. Between Lexington and Detroit, I think the East Conference might have more players in it than any other division.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this East just go at it every week. I mean, Cruz, a crazy thing a lot of people will probably see early on is getting to see Cruz and Talacarne out there in that defensive scheme just on the same side, letting them kind of go ham and lock down an entire half of the field. I'll tell you, after all my sims so far, yeah, these two are a problem, and I know both of them have that little bit of a chip on their shoulder after being snubbed off of being defensive players of the season. I think both had an equal right to it, and Dondas is, on top of it, Dondas is he's a coach. He's down in San Diego in the SFLM as part of that group, and he comes with a bunch of knowledge. We also have, Alexander. He wants to learn a bit when it comes to the coaching side. So, if you're going to have a group, or if you're going to have someone wanting to learn to coach, we have a group here.
Well, excellent job, JW, rebuilding back the squad. Of course, the West, the new components of the offense after Ethan Flowers left to go to Philadelphia, among others. Rob Hunt also departing. But yeah, Detroit builds back better and gets ready to try to take that one last step to get from championship runner-up to champion. JW, thanks for being on the show. You can rest easy now.
Thank you. Quick shout out also to the boy Alex West getting his chance to be a wide receiver 1, finally. Getting out of that shadow. So it's going to be a fun season for us in Detroit. We'll see y'all soon.
There you go. Thanks, JW. Have a good day.
See ya.
Wonderful stuff from JW Hartshorn and the Detroit Maulers as they feed the transaction machine. Almost entirely Detroit Maulers on the screen. While that was all happening, we had Mango Moody, Alden Bleeker, chance to win for Vancouver, all re-signing. Olivia Bleeker comes back, another Baltimore Vulture, back into the fold. And then coming up on the show next, Charles Franz signs with Oklahoma City at kicker, $3.7 million. Oklahoma City had a little bit of trouble in the kicking game last season, and Charles comes on to talk about his signing with Oklahoma City. We will talk with Goose Busters a little bit later in the show as well. Free agency frenzy rolls on, and the fun is just getting started here on VFN. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Free Agency Frenzy. I have a former free agent, Charles Franz, at kicker, but just recently signed as of just a few minutes ago with the Oklahoma City Renegades. Charles, welcome to the program.
Great to be here, Cam.
All right, so we go from the We go from the Canton days to the Florida days to now the Oklahoma City days.
They were the first season in Sin City when I joined.
Sin City. So yeah, we're bouncing around, but hopefully maybe you found your home. What was the off season like, especially after finding out that Florida was not returning?
It was a little bit of a shock at first. I really liked hanging with the guys, and I was a little bit disappointed how our season ended. Although that last game was a classic, but OKC Goose actually reached out to me, and he actually he's been kind enough to give me an opportunity in the front office as the assistant GM, which is something I've wanted since Sin City. So I'm really thankful for that.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great stuff. Oklahoma City's been kind of in a rut the last few seasons since rejoining the league, but this offseason has felt different. It started with Chad Rowland coming in the fold middle of the season last season, and then they've just been building from there. How many different people have you gotten a chance to talk to? What do you get a sense of the vision over there, and just what's going on in Oklahoma City? Because I have a feeling that they're going to have a big day today.
Chad is a very hands-on owner. He talks to us nearly every day and trying to kind of find a path forward. And Goose is very active. We just got my old running mate Evans from Florida. I know he's a complete dog. So, and we got some stuff cooking in the draft as well. He really just because it sounds like from when they took over, it was kind of really bare bones here. So they've done a really good job of trying to steady the ship, and I think we're going to surprise some people this year.
As a guy that has wanted to be, in a front office role, I'm sure days like this are very fascinating and interesting to watch across the wire. Anything that has been a big surprise to you so far?
I mean, I'm just surprised that Minnesota. I know that they're a terrific team, but and I'm surprised they're kind of making that next move for a title. I'm also a little surprised by Philadelphia's comments, because you made the championship. That's quite good, but they seem to really have a high bar of excellence over there.
Yeah, or Detroit rather, right? The Detroit
as well. Yes.
Yeah. They've been off to a hot start here today as well. What as a kicker, does it matter in terms of on the field stuff? Does it matter who you play for? Is it more about the locker room and because you're going to kick no matter where you are, right? Kicking is kicking. So what are you looking for out there as a kicker when you join a team?
Well, I mean, it's really just about the culture and whether we're ready to compete and also ready to win. And it's also about just how engaged the guys are, and I found that really nice. That's right away at OKC. It's been a very familial environment, and these guys want to win and want to compete.
Now, I am surprised at this most recent signing coming over from Oklahoma City, Nolan Pierce, wide receiver, going to DC at $4.2 million. I bet y'all would have liked to have him on board. I suppose.
Nolan's a terrific receiver, but.
Yeah, but I suppose we'll find out who his replacements are coming up in a little while when Goose joins the program. Charles, any other parting words or thoughts on SFL season 27 or your career or what's going on in Oklahoma City? Anything like that?
Oh, I'm hopeful that I'll get back to my form of of a couple 2-3 seasons ago, and that I think OKC is going to surprise some people. We have a great floor here, and we're just going to keep building to the top.
All right, Charles, thanks so much for joining Free Agency Frenzy. Congrats on the signing in Oklahoma City, and we'll see you out there in those new colors.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that was Charles Franz on the program. Looked like my dad sent me a DM and then deleted it or something. I don't know what happened there, but we got you, Pops. Charles Franz and a few of the Oklahoma City Renegades have signed. More to come there, but man, Nolan Pierce is a big loss for the Renegades. He's a max speed guy, max catch guy, starting off with the DC Dragons, who are building back differently a little bit. Of course, Jay Hayden's back at wide receiver, but the Trellis Blanton signing, the Stephen Mullinex signing did also come in. So a pair of quarterbacks, same situation again for Trellis Blanton as he had in Miami. So interesting stuff there in DC land. J Mart also re-signing with Washington. Coming up next on the program, it is Brian Craven of the Pittsburgh Riverhogs to talk some Riverhog football as Pittsburgh looks to bounce back after a disappointing season 26. Free Agency Frenzy returns in a moment on VFN.
Hello there.
How's it going?
Not bad. How are you?
Welcome back to SFL Season 27 Free Agency Frenzy, along with Brian Craven of the Pittsburgh Riverhogs. The show rolls on. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good. I'm had a couple days off work even, so I'm extra rested.
We love that. Get that couple days here coming up as well. So looking forward to that.
Nice.
Well, things are changing in Pittsburgh. The more they change, the more they stay the same, though, right, Brian? Is some reuniting going on over there in Riverhog country?
Yeah, a lot of it, and I'm pretty happy about that. You know, these aren't just players; they're friends, they're family, and I'm glad to have some of these guys. Well, I'm glad to have all of these guys. Don't give the wrong idea, except for Doug Day. I didn't want him back, but otherwise, I'm glad to have all these guys. And
well, especially off that knee replacement. Like, how effective could he possibly be out there after that?
He's not going to play. I'm going to bench him. He doesn't know that yet, but.
All right. Well, Pittsburgh last season did not have the season that I think everyone expected. It was kind of like, wow, they made that big jump 2 seasons ago, and then here comes the next step, and then it just did not happen. Kind of got Bossier City'd a little bit, a lot of close losses, and then just a lot of things that just didn't quite happen the way that y'all had hoped. What was it like being in the trenches of all that?
Well, I feel bad in a season like that. I feel bad for the players because, they want to win. They want to do well. They expected to do well. And we kind of fell flat on our face. I was actually on vacation the first month of the season and was trying to do playbooks while I was traveling and not doing particularly well with that. And I feel like I let the team down there. I should have just handed it over to Keith and let the chips fall where they may.
Go ahead, Brian.
Well, I mean, and then as you said, you had games where it's like, geez, we played that game 10 times, the result's going to be different 7 out of 10 times. I think we had a few like that, and it just is what it is. And if you've been in the league long enough, you kind of see it coming. Sometimes you get into a game and it's like, this doesn't look good.
Right.
This doesn't look good. I don't like how this is going. So,
I tell people all the time, like, I think I underestimated when I started the SFL just how difficult it is to actually go out and win a championship, and everything has to align. Vancouver really struggled in the middle part of the season because Mark Lopez needed surgery himself. And when you have somebody that's critical to your team that for whatever life reason is just not as available as maybe they were the season before or the season coming up, it can affect the entire team. And that's nobody's fault. It's just life, but all the pieces have to align. Do you feel like the pieces are aligning with Pittsburgh in season 27?
I feel really good. It's funny how it goes because I was sort of braced. We knew, for example, that Tom Krieg was going to retire. That we knew that going into the season, or like partway through the season. We knew a couple of things like that, and we were kind of talking. Then we had the ownership change, and there was a lot of going on with that, and hit everybody up and said, hey, if I'm I'll say that I went to Ace immediately. When Corey first brought it up, I went to Ace immediately and was like, do you want to do this? I didn't want to do it originally, but I knew Ace was interested in that, and I wanted Pitt to keep going. And then Charles came in, and Corey's felt like he had unfinished business, and I feel like that's a great thing. So we felt good about that. But then we're just like, all right, what are we going to do? We've got these holes we want to fill. And we started reaching out. And the first couple, we're like, oh, thanks, and it's like, and we're kind of talking about it. It's like, well, we didn't have a great season, and it's probably going to be hard. And then next thing I know, we've got people coming out our ears, and we're actually turning a few people away that we really wanted on the team. It was like, God, I love this guy. I want him on my team, but we just didn't have place for him. And so that's a rather long-winded answer. I apologize, but I feel great about the team that we have, that we're putting together, have put together. Still have some contracts to be signed, but they're committed at least.
Yeah,
So,
and that's a good problem to have. The first handful have come across here: Ace Fennick, Mike Churchill, Ziggy Roenick, Deuce Fennick, Doug Britton, Ben Harrison, and Levy Lease all re-signing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those guys are rocks. We knew they'd be back. I actually thought that Doug Britton might possibly retire. I'm glad he didn't. Love having that guy on the team. And again, like I said at the beginning, these guys aren't just players, they're friends and their family. And so it's good to bring those guys back. I love that. I love it that happened.
Now, the next signings are a group that run together, Brunner Greyjam, Lili Nakai, and then Pseudo Nakai, not Mikhail Pajak, but Pseudo Nakai coming back at fullback at $1.3 million. I'm sure that was not a difficult conversation to have with Charles regarding the potential return of Pseudo Nakai.
No, not too hard at all. I feel like I talked him into it a little bit. Not talking, but like we're talking about different things. Maybe he'd play on the line. Wasn't going to play quarterback. Blah 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 blah. So we had a few conversations like that, and I finally at one point was like, Charles, what do you want to do? And he goes, I kind of like Pseudo. Then bring Pseudo back. Bring him back.
Yeah.
And here we are. And so now we have we're going to give people a lesson in low center of gravity for the fullback position. And it's hilarious in Sims. We've started kind of messing with it. It's hilarious. You can't see him. Can't see him behind Ace. Can't see it. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. It's good to have Pseudo back. He bought his old number back from Doug Day. So.
Oh, he bought it back. That's funny.
Going to buy him a couple of beers at the convention.
Okay, all right, that's good. Now I'll know where those beers came from. Bunch of re-signings:
Yep.
Butch Menor, Brian Craven, Doug Day, Jermaine Menefield, Nas Gankel, Kane Vasquez, Otis Boudreau, and Vida Lee returning.
Yep. All people. I mean, I wanted everybody back, of course, but I think Ness is going to have a real breakout season this year. I just think she's poised for a really good season, and we have other things in the pipe that are going to make her job easier back there. So, glad to have him back.
Doug Day's going with number 54. I see.
Yeah.
Is the new number.
Going back to our Vancouver days, the original Bass Brothers.
That's right. Good stuff there. While we're talking, Deontay Stoneville is staying with Philadelphia over from Florida. So that was the one player that Jason Peace was talking about that was returning earlier. All right, now we get to the free agent acquisition of Pittsburgh. Let's start with Ernest McCray Sr., who comes over from Arizona.
Yeah, love that. Ernest reached out to us early on. He reached out to Corey, just kind of asking what what was, if we had an opening, whatever, and we knew that we did with retiring. So we're getting a great player to plug into that, plug in there, and I feel like our three cornerbacks are fantastic. So pretty excited to have Ernest on the team.
All right, now back to Evan Lacey, another connection back to the old glory days. He comes over at free safety.
Yeah. Well, that's what we drafted him at Lone Star. And at first, when we were talking to him, he committed as a cornerback. And I didn't want to take advantage of his loyalty or any of that, so we start looking at him and going, man, pretty good safety, And so I asked him, I said, you can say no. I have no problem with you saying no. How do you feel about being the starting free safety? And he said, sure. So you want to take care of your guys, and Evan hasn't been with me in Pitt before this, but talk about family. He's family. He's someone I care a lot about. He's a brother, and so you don't want to take advantage of people in that area. So we had the conversation, and he was down for it. So
And then Al Ingram III leaves Houston and comes over at strong safety to sign with Pittsburgh.
Excited about him. He looks good in the Sims. I didn't really know him beforehand, but I think Doug reached out to him, or maybe he had declared free agency, and I don't know, with 5 guys kind of doing it, I don't know who reached out to him first, but
Sure.
Going to be good for us. He's going to be a good player for us.
Yeah, that's excellent stuff. In total, Pittsburgh 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, at least up to this point. So the team's filling out nicely.
Yeah, we have enough. I believe we're supposed to be at 32 when it's all said and done. Yeah. Hey, like I said, all of a sudden there's people coming out of the woodwork and we're like, well, yes, we do like you. So,
Right.
So, well, yeah, we've got a handful of guys that are still have yet to sign or whatever. It's fine.
What has surprised you about anything else you've seen across the league so far today?
I didn't have Art going to BCS on my bingo card, but I probably should have. I noticed all of the old Portland guys coming back, renewing their subs. Didn't know where they were going to go. I had a feeling maybe Oklahoma City or Philadelphia somehow. But regardless, like, oh, hey, look at that. That's kind of, there's always, you see a few people when they first declare free agency, and it kind of surprises you. John Fowler, perhaps, that was kind of a surprise. So then you're curious about where they go, but nothing like completely blew my socks off. I did send a not work safe message to Art about going somewhere else, but we didn't have room for him, and I knew we couldn't sign him, but.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, on the Pittsburgh front, what is left for you guys in terms of preparing for the season, and do we have any more business to attend to at the moment?
I mean, not that I'm aware of. We've got more people to sign. Everyone has indicated that they are re-signing. You can always get surprised, but everyone has indicated that they're re-signing or signing. There's some free agents still out there, and they just, they're busy or whatever. It's fine. And Charles and I have started kind of working on playbooks a little bit. Charles is bringing a lot to the table in that regard. He's bringing play tracking and things at a level that I've never had.
Yeah.
Never had, ever. So it's really refreshing to be able to just kind of look at the spreadsheet and go, okay, yep, here we go, whatever. I've said this many times, this isn't coaching, and I'm not trying to besmirch the league or anything. This isn't coaching. This is coding. And, it doesn't really scratch my football itch in that regard, but it's fun to do for my team and for my people, and to see it all come out. And Charles is going to make that a whole lot easier for me this year, and hopefully better for the team. I expect it will be. And so I'm pretty excited about that stuff. I want to get everyone signed and get it all official and everything, but that's kind of it. That's kind of where I'm at.
Coach,
I'm probably missing something.
There has been some discussions about, kind of what you just said, and the idea that maybe more coaching and less coding will come to the SFL later on. Have you been hearing things through the tea leaves like that?
I have heard nothing like that, but extremely interested.
You might, yeah,
know,
you
and
might, you might be very interested in some future things going on in the league. If
yeah.
as
Well,
am
I
I.
know-
Fascinating conversations to come.
I know, Cam, that you're always working to make it better. And so it doesn't surprise me to hear that might be something that's coming up. And I want to say again, I wasn't trying to make fun of the league or coaching. I'm using air quotes or any of that stuff because it is what it is. It's what we have, and it's still interesting. But you know, as a coach, when my blocker on the strong side motions to the weak side, and suddenly we have no blocking, I'm ready to lose my mind. So, you know, but that's video game football.
By the way, Coach, Mark Lopez says that Charles comes to the Vancouver coaching tree, so that's why they're going to do great things. So he's claiming Charles as Vancouver responsible, I guess. But why does he need to claim more things as his responsibility?
I don't know, because I mean the guy's won 2 championships in a row and been to a couple of others. I think he'd be satisfied, but no, he's not wrong. I mean, and don't forget, I spent a season with Vancouver, kind of learning what they do as well. So I'm part of that tree as well. So
that's right. Well, whether it's the Glory or the Legion or whoever, the Pittsburgh Riverhogs are building back better here in season 27. So, Coach, thanks for joining the show, and we appreciated having you on. Glad you're doing well.
Thank you. You as well, sir.
All righty. Have a good one. That's it for Brian Craven of the Pittsburgh Riverhogs. They're doing some big things over there. And coming up next, it's John Fowler talking about why he left Mexico City after back-to-back seasons of breaking records at linebacker. Free agency frenzy continues next. Welcome back to Free Agency Frenzy. I have with me John Fowler, the newest addition, not to Mexico City, but to Philadelphia. John, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Cam. How are you doing?
I'm good, John. So I think for me, just as a guy that does all the awards stuff, your name might be the biggest name out there in terms of free agency, just based off of what you've accomplished over the last couple of seasons. You know, not many people leave Mexico City once they're there, but what were you looking for with this change this offseason?
No hard feelings to them. I give them props. I still have love for them. They made me who I am today. I'll say that. I give them mad respect, and my changes, for me, I wanted a new chapter in a way. Yeah, I've been in 2 champions, but honestly, I wanted to help an incoming team get there. You know what I mean? Help push them. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Mexico City. Do not get me wrong, I have mad love and respect for them. I know I went off, left at a bad timing, but still. But that was my thoughts, really.
Talking with John Fullerton earlier in the show, he was talking about how, you know, he just it rejuvenated his excitement, his enthusiasm, just going through the process of you know, signing with a new team and starting that new chapter. And you know, sometimes you gotta shake things up in life, right? It just, you know, things get a little stale, and you just want to be recharged again.
I mean, yeah. I mean, last time this happened was back in Truesman days with the fleet and being a fullback, halfback, went back to fullback. Like, it's been a long time. Like,
yeah.
I know it's surprising, but I wanted the new chapter in a way, you know?
Yeah, so what was it
Ramos.
about? Go ahead, John, sorry.
Sorry. I love Ramos and Mike. Like, don't get me wrong. They pushed me who I am, made me who my player is today. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
What was it about Philadelphia? You know, there's a lot of I mean, Philadelphia, yes, they are the one new team in the SFL this year, but there's a lot of other teams that are you know, that are building, in the process of building something as well. So what was it about Philadelphia that really excited you?
I like the goals they had, the way they wanted to achieve them. Peace is a great guy. He's a great coordinator for defensive. His scheme's aggressive. I think it fits into a linebacker for my guy, even though I like to pass deflect. But like, don't get me wrong, I won't discredit any team reaching out to me, like Lexington, OKC, Houston. I think Vancouver at the end there. Big respect to them. Big shout out. Like, don't get me wrong, I felt like a brand new team would maybe help. You know, I just want to help them.
Yeah.
I just want to.
Did you get the sense from Peace as to, you know, would your role kind of be changing in the defense? Are you going to be doing, you know, maybe in a little bit different of a role, or is he like, we're going to set that pass deflections record again?
I mean, I was surprised he was going to go to strong safety. Realistically, I didn't care. If it all came down to it, I would have changed positions to help the team. I would do it. I've done it. Like, I've helped teams multiple times. But no, I was just very surprised. Big respect to him for going to strong safety and keeping me on my track to become the Hall of Famer that I want to do. But yeah, I didn't expect that. So I felt like it was a good opportunity, you know.
Jason earlier said that you were one of the most enthusiastic guys that he's been around. What is it about this stuff that is so much fun for you?
It's like watching it, man. Just all the games, everyone coming together as a community throughout the years. I've been in the league since season 14, the end of the bit era. I've seen the changes, and everyone's still come together. Yeah, some people leave, but they still leave in good terms. It's just a family vibe, you know. Like, you grow up, like, you barely know them when you first start, but then, like, years down the road, it's like a family.
Yeah, no doubt. How's the foot? Didn't you say you stepped on a nail recently?
Oh, yeah. No. That was bad. I was masking off a window to paint, and then I came off the ladder full force on my right foot, and there's a framing nail sticking out from somebody didn't remove the debris from this old siding. So I stepped on it, went straight through the sole of my foot into, like, the sole of my shoe into my foot. But I put Epsom salt, let that soak for 45 minutes. Shit was clear, and I'm good to go the next day.
John, you're a roof warrior, no doubt. And
yeah, I got a roof tomorrow.
And you're a warrior on the field too. You know, where do you see Philadelphia fitting into the East? The East kind of had a down year last year. Carolina was down. You know, I don't think that DC or Minnesota felt like they lived up to their expectations. Of course, Detroit made the championship, but how do you see Philadelphia mixing into this division?
I think adding Philadelphia into the division will spark it up more. maybe push other teams to get the initiative, get the aggressiveness, spark it up more, spark their team up. Maybe a new contender will just do that, you know? Give the East a little more competition, a little more enthusiasm. I don't know.
We got a bunch of signings coming in since John joined us. Baron Wint comes over from Miami at defensive end with Mexico City. Dallas Sanders back off the dev team. Otherwise, a bunch of re-signings for the Aztecs. And then Jerry D. Gond re-signing at defensive end for Minnesota. John, what's your biggest surprise in free agency that you've seen around the league today?
Lexington.
Yeah.
I won't cap. Marker's been trying to get me on his team for 5 years now. I'll give him mad respect and love for that, but he's been trying for 5 years. To see him snag all the Portland Fleet players and bring them back to the fold, that's amazing. That's a good thing for him and his crew, what he's trying to do.
Yeah, I
and
totally
I hope
agree.
He prevails.
I'm looking forward to hearing, some more from those guys, and just to see what they've been up to, find out why they're back, and how Lexington was able to get him back in the fold. That's a big time thing. Well, John, thanks for joining the show. Congrats on the signing to Philadelphia. Good to chat with you. It's going to be weird seeing you in a different uniform, but exciting at the same time.
I agree. And of course, Cam, and I hope you stay happy and positive.
You too, man. You have a good one.
You too, brother.
For those of you that are new to the SFL or relatively new to the SFL, John Fowler's been saying stay happy and positive for as long as I can remember. As long as Matt Wilson's been saying it. He said choose happy, but it's one and the same. He's a good guy and happy to have him on the show. Wish him well in Philadelphia. Mexico City gets Jordan Site, Jacob Morrison, Noe Terrasas, Jared Dumas, Ron Haynes, Tatalani Supremo, Sit Lamina Oceloto, Dan Tritz, Chance Wall, Saron Yates IV, Qualzinho Leah, Liam Ryan, Gerard Brody, Jeffrey Daggs, K.L. Barrett Jr., and Buford Van Dam all back onto the roster. Axel Raven returns to Minnesota. And lots of good stuff there. Coming up, it's Goosebusters of Oklahoma City now. We'll see what the Renegades have going on when free agency frenzy continues in a moment. Welcome back to Free Agency Frenzy, along with Goosebusters of the Oklahoma City Renegades. We roll on in hour number 3. What's up, Goose?
It's doing well today. How are you doing?
Doing well. It's exciting to see, where all these teams are building and what they're growing into. One of my favorite days of the year, quite frankly, as as the new season takes shape. And for Oklahoma City, it's been a few years of struggles and trying to, figure out how to get to the next level. And I think you would say that that time is now.
Yes. Between me and Chad, we have determined that time is now. We have hit the ground hard this off season, pulling all the connections that we've made throughout the year. I've not been in the league too long, but I've hit the ground and made some friends, and I've worked hard to put the roster together that we've had so far. Big plans this year.
Well, we're all in anticipation, so fire away. The floor is yours.
All right, let's see what's getting first. We should have our offense rolling first.
While we're waiting on that, Ricky Rigatoni also coming back to Carolina at guard while we were away.
We have Chad hitting the button, so we'll see. There we go.
Well, yours is first, Goose. You're going there. 1.8 million. We know that.
Yes, I've actually made the swap to wide receiver this year.
Miami had a bunch of players, Goose, and it just didn't work. And sometimes that happens. It's not a Miami thing. It's just a season thing. What went wrong in Miami?
A lot, in my opinion. I don't ever want to throw people under the bus. I left Miami and I told them it was a philosophy thing for me. I felt like we needed to balance a little bit more, and that's what our goal here in Oklahoma City is we have, I feel like, an equal or a balanced offense. And so we're going to hit the ground running and show what should have been, I guess is a good way to put it.
While we're waiting for the other signings for Oklahoma City to come through, Pete Mitchell goes from Florida and is going to Houston at defensive tackle at $3.3 million. John Barnhart and Dustin Sakasi is also re-signed with the Headhunters, and Lauren Percoco at $4.4 million is back in D.C.
Yeah, Pete Mitchell was the one that I tried to snag from Florida that unfortunately fell through, but, no hard feelings.
The Oklahoma City offseason has been kind of a roller coaster, right, Goose? Because you've had to go to maybe not plan B or plan C, but a lot of moving parts, right?
We've gone through, I think we're on plan Z, honestly, at this point. But it's fine. Every plan comes with adjustments. When one plan fell through, it kind of gave me a light bulb to go to a different alternative plan. I'm like on plan C, B now.
Well,
so it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, not necessarily a bad thing at all. It starts with Bob Wood at wide receiver. He comes over at $1.9 million from Anchorage. Tell me a little bit about what he brings to the table.
He was our target for our number one receiver. As soon as I saw he was testing free agency, I reached out to him, and he met our culture that we want to bring. We have a kind of saying in the locker room now, it's the OKC standard. And that's something that we're striving to bring to everyone in the locker room. So it's gonna be a big deal. We expect big things. He may end up being some return team between him and Bach. So it'll be, look out for our wide receivers.
Marcus,
I'd say look out for them all, because between me and Bovag beside each other, good luck.
No doubt. Marcus Buss comes over. Did you have a relationship with him down in the minors?
Not particularly. He was with me in Florida or in Miami. So he ended up I guess I ended up getting him in the minors as well. On the San Diego team, so it was nice. It's always nice to have that one anchor on the fly on your line and try to build out from there.
Dwayne Salmon's back in Washington, and Anthony Ellison back in Miami. Reggio De Niro comes from Baltimore to Miami at the halfback position. Was formerly a wide receiver, so that's what's going on with in Miami there. Interesting things going on with the Stingrays. It's like Baltimore South over there.
There's a story behind that one.
Oh, is that a story that we can divulge on the air or not?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's the past. So Reggio was a primary target for me last season in Miami. When Baltimore folded.
Right.
But unfortunately, things did not work out. So I'm glad to see him in Miami.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, this next one, Neil Rivers coming over from Albuquerque. I actually just talked to Neil last week, and he is so pumped up to be in Oklahoma City, the team closest to where he resides.
Yes. That defense in Oklahoma City was the biggest struggle. So he is one of the ones that we started with and knew kind of built around. Knowing what he brings to the table and the attitude he brings to the locker room goes a long ways. But the defense is definitely our primary targets this offseason. And it just keeps getting better.
Goose, you've got your thumbprints across the league. What signings have been stunners so far for you today?
Detroit. Detroit. When it hurts my heart, unfortunately, because I'm talking to Dondas as we speak. But he going to Detroit, and I was hoping to grab him to Oklahoma City with me as well. But as I told him, I nothing but best wishes, and I hope he learns something up there, so he can bring it down to the minors with us.
Pair of linebackers coming through now for you guys. Tony Roberto comes over from Lexington at $3.4 million.
Yes, Roberto was the other one besides
Garrett Evans. Evans is also across the wire.
Yes, Garrett Evans, Roberto, the whole basically that left side is just going to be menacing. We brought so much activity to our locker room now. It's definitely night and day, in my opinion.
And you got Johnny Pickler back at quarterback, which is that's a huge piece too. I
agree.
Yeah, he had some moments last season where he was a better quarterback than 3/4 of the league was.
Yeah, he was probably top 10 quarterback most of the league most of the time. I think it was surrounding him with the right weapons and a consistent weapon will go a long ways with him. We kind of Oklahoma City learned early, or midway, I guess, on a better game plan, and I think that's going to kind of carry over to this season.
Let's talk about it. Anthony Wyo's across the wire. Another team for Wyo to sign with over time, and at $6.3 million, it's one of the fattest contracts in the league. In fact, I'm looking to see it is the fattest contract in the league at $6.3 million. The only one that is lower is or the one closest to him is Al Dillapree's 5.5. So this is a monster signing in the OKC secondary.
We knew we needed a quarterback, and we went and we grabbed the biggest one we could find. Not only is he, like I said, he's a great locker presence from what I've rented, but it's just knowing that we had that lockdown corner, and it gets better because we're going to pair him up with someone here shortly. So one side of the field, I wouldn't even bother because it's going to be a wrecking crew.
Would that be Mike Ryan?
Could be. Depends on what side of the field we put him on.
Mike Ryan of Carolina. We saw that big free safety contract come through for Carolina earlier. It turns out it was Mike Ryan's replacement, Ryan going to Oklahoma City.
Yes. We have Mike Ryan coming in. He's a great foundational player as well. We swung big. I've always been taught aim for the moon, aim for the stars, land on the moon. So you've always got to shoot the highest as you can. And we're going to work together and make this work.
We also have at strong safety Amonte Dubois-Smith coming over from Pittsburgh.
There's our other side of the field that you got to worry about. We've grown. We worked together so much in the minors, and it was how do I say, an easy deal almost. I won't say easy. Took some convincing, but to come bring him to Oklahoma City with me and have him be that lockdown safety that he wants to be, and pair him up with Mike Ryan on the other side. And I got some ideas for the draft. It's gonna get nasty.
Yeah, because y'all got a couple picks in the draft.
We do. We carry the 3rd and 4th.
So that'll be big for Oklahoma City. Up to 13 players now as the Renegades are set to have, or what we're anticipating to have, is their deepest roster to date. And
I do know we're going to end up a little short, but comparatively, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're waiting for one offensive player to sign, which I don't think he'll be in tonight. And then maybe a few more. It might be all of them, unfortunately.
So you spoke about that balance. Is that the running back you're waiting on?
Yes. Our running back is the one we are waiting on. He is a night owl, I assume. He's a kind of hit and miss, but again, that's one of, so without learning too much, he's another one I built connections through with my time in the SFL, and he's, by all accounts, he's a great running back, and I'm glad to be able to have him on board. And we also have my brain is not friends that came in from Miami or Florida, some Florida team. I'm glad to have him on board on a daily basis, figure out this way to build around. It's nice to be able to have a team that is growing and is not afraid of new ideas.
Yeah, Coach Irvine over there, I've always said, you're a good coach, but you can only do so much without a roster. You don't need coaching help. You need roster help. And now Oklahoma City's got that with the front office that y'all are building. Has it been refreshing to sort of hit the ground running on a new project and be able to put it together like this?
I like it. That's my niche, I guess, is I like to build puzzles. And if I can build a puzzle that works, even better.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a 2-season project for sure. So expect me to be around for a while. So it's going to be exciting. I'm excited for this, and we're gonna hopefully put the West on notice this season.
Well, Goose, any last words? Thank you for joining the program, and congrats on what you all have done so far and what is coming for Oklahoma City.
Just best wishes and Godspeed, everyone.
All righty, thanks, Goose. Appreciate it. That was Goose Busters of Oklahoma City, putting together a good-looking roster so far. They got some work to do, but plenty of big signings and big names going over to Oklahoma City. No doubt about that. Coming up next on the program, we've got 3 more joining us. Jimmy Hatsis of the Birmingham Hellhounds will be by to dump the signings of Birmingham upon you all when the free agency frenzy continues in a moment.
Hello.
Welcome back to SFL Free Agency Frenzy. We have Jimmy Hatsis of the Birmingham Hellhounds on the program to talk Birmingham Hellhound football. What's going on, Jimmy?
Hey, Cam, what's up? I'm glad to be here with ESPN Cameron Irvine, royalty from the SFL. If you remember a year ago, Cam, I was following you around a convention like a used car salesman saying, we need a team. Goodman and I, get us a team. And you came through for us. Birmingham Hellhounds had their inaugural season, and it went amazing. Thank you, Cam.
Yeah, it was a great season for you guys. You know, I know that there were a lot of Denver guys that stuck with you because you were on that Denver staff. But taking them to even another level than you had, I'm sure felt really good.
Oh, yes, amazing. We have been so concerned with the guys that are on this team and bringing them joy and making sure that they move to that next level. So, like you said, coming into Denver, it was kind of fun coming into a franchise that was kind of on the downward turn and getting a little bit, you know, each season to turn around. And, hey, we made it to the semifinals. I felt really good about that. And I know the locker room has been amazingly fired up. And I'm super happy for those guys because I would love nothing more than to see these guys eventually see a championship.
While we were in break, Mac Dre is going to Vancouver. He comes over from Houston at defensive end. Josh Farnsey, DJ Woods also re-signed there, and Shinya Nada re-signs in Oklahoma City. But now it's time for some Birmingham signings. Jimmy, what you got for us?
Alrighty, Mr. Goodman is on the button pushing, so he'll be doing the refresh here. I think we've had a bunch of signings, but he told me to hold off until now, so I guess if you can refresh, you should be listening in a few minutes and hit the button. I'll let you know about the signings, who we have coming back, what we're bringing in that's new.
Yep, right now some re-signings: Jordan Bradshaw, Blake Prine, Lucas DeVore, Hatsis, Stephen Goodman, John Martin, Hugo Reynosa, Gerald Cumbus, and Damon Alucard.
Perfect. So basically, in a nutshell, before I'm sure you'll have some questions for me, one thing in Birmingham we've tried to preach, you know, we brought it from our style of play from Denver, was we believe in loyalty. We want everybody to be with the team as long as they can. We want as least turnover as we can. We want everybody to basically have a home in Birmingham for as long as they want to have a home. So you'll see from the signings that we have so far, we're going to have a lot of returning players. Practically, most of the roster will be returning, minus a few players that have decided to step away, enjoy life on the golf course. But right now, as you can see on the screen, we have Blake Prine, who we brought in a couple of seasons ago, who was a big name to sew up our strong safety position. Jordan Bradshaw, who came over from Denver, what we think is one of the best kickers in the league and a great locker room guy. Lucas DeVore, shout out, just got married. Great kid, always fired up in the locker room. And then the Goodman clan, of course, Stephen Goodman. We call him the Black Sheep. He's another great kid that's in the locker room, always excited. And John Martin is our heart and soul of our defense. Having John Martin come back and be a leader on this team is probably the most special thing that we can experience, because everybody in the locker room looks up to John. Everybody wants to be like John, and everybody appreciates having him in the locker room and always being behind all the players. And you can see we have Hugo Reynoso returning, Gerald Cumbas returning, both of our defensive ends who've been amazing for us, and Damon Alucard, one of our starting tackles. So right now, I don't want to sound like, Bill Belichick, a little bland, but we're not going to have a lot of big free agent names coming in, but that's because we're able to have a lot of really good retention. So far, since we've been in the league, even with Denver, I think we've only had a couple of players test free agency when we first joined the first year, but the last few seasons, we've had only players retire or we mutually parted ways with that player, but we haven't had anybody on our team go to another team in quite some time. I can see you refreshed it. I don't want to keep talking, Cam, so if you have a question or you want to chime in, go ahead.
Yeah, you do get a free agent, though, with Fox Highwind coming over from Arizona. How did those conversations come about?
Yes, I see that now. That's our big signing. Basically, what happened with that was, as I said, we really don't pursue looking for free agents in the off season, and I understand it's kind of a touchy subject, when you're going out there. But we've kind of eased up now that we see the people come to approach our players and we approach others. Basically, what happened with Fox was we think he's a legend, and Fox reached out to us, a few weeks before the season was going to end, kind of see where our game ideas were going and what we were into. And when we spoke to him, an amazing guy. I think I spent an hour and a half on the phone with him, Goodman as well. What an amazing person, amazing leader. Right now, as you know, on Birmingham, our big leader two types are, as I said earlier, John Martin and Bailey O'Shaughnessy is kind of our leader on the offense. And that's the one thing, I guess, kind of like a real NFL locker room. You're looking for veteran leadership, and to bring in someone like Fox is going to really boost, I think, the locker room. We have a bunch of receivers that are up and coming and learning and need that guidance from the leader on the field. Fox is immediately going to be our number one, our banger. So I'm really excited to see what he does. And I know that he has the same vision as we do, which is we want to turn our offense into a more eclectic offense. We were kind of a running team when we first started playing. Now we want to open it up and do different things. And I think Fox is going to be that guy that's really going to make a difference.
He was in Cincinnati at the convention in 2024, and then y'all were in the convention in Baltimore in 2025. So you just missed each other. I got to meet Fox for the first time in 2024, and he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, it seems like it. Like I said, great conversations with him. Goodman and I will be going to the convention. We're very excited. Can't wait to see the same faces we saw last year, and then hopefully meet some new faces when we're out there. So that's another thing we're very, very excited for. And I hope Fox does get to make it to another convention, because I would love to meet him in person, because the conversations we had via telephone were amazing.
Jordan Goodman, Dominique Kane, Michael Goodman, Ivan Lazardi, Dylan Lewis, Mike Kleinecht, Kiera Cool, Marcella Martin, Morgan Turiel, also re-signing with Birmingham.
Yep, just going down that quickly that list. Jordan Goodman had a rookie campaign that was amazing. He'll only be building on that. That's Mike's son, great kid. Dominic Kane has been really busted out, so he was a great tandem with Bailey. So we're amazed we're having him come back and really building our running back room. Michael Goodman, of course, our offensive coordinators, wide receiver, has been moving on the way up. And Mike is so selfless. Part of the conversation was, and I think I said this on Eddie's show, you want to bring in a big name like a Fox Highwind, and one of the first things you start to say is that going to affect the room as far as others. And we have such a selfless team and a selfless locker room that people immediately that, we could tell that Fox would be coming, were amazed. And Michael immediately said, I don't care about depth or my player. I want Fox to come in and I want him to dominate. So kudos to Mike for wanting to bring in a number one receiver that will come in and make an impact and take some of the load off of himself and Ivan Lazardi, who you can see signed underneath him, two of our bigger receivers. And then we have Dylan Lewis coming back, who was originally from Denver, always been a great player. Mike Kleinecht, our tight end, also a rookie, had an amazing campaign. We're looking to establish and keep him doing the same things he's doing. And as you can see, offensive line wise, the only loss at offensive line we have is De Jesus won't be coming back as retiring the player, but we have our rest of our offensive line. You can see they signed now Kiara Cool, Marcelo Martin, Morgan Tarial, and Damon Alucard. So we'll have those four strong on the offensive line. So like I said, I know it's not as exciting as you may want to hear, but we have most of our team returning. But I love the loyalty. I love the locker room that we have right now, all the fired up people that are in there. And bringing in Fox is just going to be turning it up a notch. It's going to be like throwing, propane in a gas in a fire.
As someone who considers himself a championship contender, obviously Vancouver is number one on your radar. But judging by just the signings and what you've seen today out of what teams are doing around the league, what team do you feel like may take another big step forward this year and muddy the waters a little bit at the top?
Well, probably the one that's scaring me the most is Detroit, knowing that they already had an amazing team, made it to the finals, always were giving everybody fits, and now bringing in the West crew, that's going to be a really big bear to contend with. We felt kind of like Washington was the Detroit last year when Thump brought in all those free agents and really had his team in overdrive with subs and every position covered. So I feel like Detroit probably is that team this year that I look at and I say, and in just every aspect of the game, they're really killing it. They've got a great media team, so their media relations are amazing. They have a lot of depth and a lot of good character players. That's one thing as Birmingham moves along and we do eventually have retirements or people move on, we would love to bring in some people that are, really good people like announcers, broadcasters, social media people to the team. But as I said earlier, we won't move on from any of our current players unless they want to move on. So at this point, I think Detroit is really making a statement with all the moves they've made. And a lot of teams, when they do as well as Detroit did, will kind of sleep on their laurels, say, well, we've done enough. But kudos to them for not taking even any time off. They just basically went right back to work and are building a super team.
Jimmy, final thoughts on the league at large or Birmingham or anything else going on in your world?
Well, final thoughts are I'm super excited for the convention. Just got my ticket. Goodman is as well. We will be bringing some little Birmingham Hellhounds knickknacks. I've made some stickers, patches, things I like to do, some tradables. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to see Eddie. I'm excited to see all the faces that we saw. It'll be amazing. As far as Birmingham goes, we're going to keep on grinding, going in the right direction, and hopefully we've been, knock on wood, every year we've gotten a little bit further into the playoffs. Hopefully next year is our year to make it all the way to the finals. And we're really looking forward to an exciting season and an exciting future for the SFL with a great commissioner named Cameron Irvine.
Okay. All right. Your schedule's not going to get any easier just because you say nice things to me. Jimmy, great having you on the program, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, buddy. Have a great day.
You too, bye. It doesn't work, people. I'm telling you right now, it does not work. In fact, it kind of makes me hate you more a little bit, but I don't know. I have things wrong in my brain. No, I'm just kidding. Jimmy's a great guy, and happy to have him here as co-owner of Birmingham. Okay, you won't want to go anywhere. Coming up next, it's Jacob Farmer, a former owner in the SFL that's back after years of being away. He's going to join the program and talk about his journey back with all of his friends to Lexington as free agency frenzy continues. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to SFL Free Agency Frenzy Season 27 edition. Alongside me, I have Jacob Farmer, the former owner of the Portland Fleet, but now a big part of the Lexington Miners' future. Welcome back, Jacob. How are you doing?
Hey, Cam, I'm doing well, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. It was a few years ago that you were involved in the league and took some time away. You had a terrible tragedy with your family life, your home. We build back better around here, and now you're a part of the backfield in Lexington. First, I just want to ask what has been going on in the last few years with Jacob Farmer, and where's your head at as we enter into a new season?
Man, my head couldn't be any greener, any greater. Just moved back into our house 2 years ago in April. Got married a year ago in April. Lost just shy of 100 pounds in about a year and a half. So I'm feeling great. Feeling amazing, and I can't wait to get started in Lexington.
Life is a roller coaster. Now, how did Lexington come about? Of course, it could be any team in the league, but what were those conversations like? Was it always only Lexington? Was it trying to find the best situation? How did it all take place?
To be honest with you, I did come back for one season with the Lycans and Sully and Rochelle.
That's right.
Still
that was a while ago.
In the right headspace for them. I did have, it seems like every off season, somebody messages me, but I just, I needed to be in the right headspace. Marco messaged me. He's like, man, it's kind of a Hail Mary. I'm orange. You were orange. I got a little blue. You have a little blue. And he's like, hey, I am the team that when you left, we took your spot. So, it was, I'm true to, I'm true to orange. And Marco is a amazing owner and a amazing fella.
Did it start with you? Did it start with Zeke or Mel or how did and were you able to convince them to get the band back together?
Well, it wasn't me. I'm going to be truthful with you. Marco messaged me. I don't know how long ago. I kind of left him on red. To be honest with you, kind of like all the other owners. I just But then I saw yesterday, like I said, it was a 24-hour roller coaster. I saw Zeke sub. I saw Mel sub, and Mel Davis and I are still great friends. We still talk weekly. And I called him. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here. I just got DM'd by a few people saying that you subscribed. And he's like, man, yeah. And he, Zeke talked to him, and I talked to Mel, and I'm like, well, okay, let's give this baby a run. But I didn't really know who Mel and Zeke were going with at first. And I'm like, so where are you guys going? Just so I know. And he's like, well, we're orange too. I'm like, all right, let's go be orange together.
That is awesome. That's such an awesome story. You would think if you talked weekly that you would know that, but
yeah. Again, Mel just found out probably 24 hours before then. So it was a roller coaster. And then I bowl with Ricky Phillips, and I'm like, hey man, I'm coming back. Marco needs it. He doesn't need a DE, but you could be a tackle. He's like, man, you coming back? Zeke's coming back. Mel's coming back. Let's roll. So it was just fun. He's like, man, I've never played for another team, and I love orange. So it's just kind of how it worked out.
And now Lexington has a full squad, and they have been sort of kind of where Portland was there for a while, like not at the bottom of the standings, like right in the thick of things, trying to take things to that next level, and they're looking for that push back into the postseason again. and y'all get to take part of that and play with a guy like Gabriel Manning, a Hall of Famer, which will, I'm sure, be exciting.
Well, yeah, I've always been on the opposite side of Gabriel Manning. So it'll be nice to be on the same team that he scores touchdowns on.
So, man, it's crazy. First off, it's crazy I'm still sitting here. Why am I still sitting here? Right. but
right.
I feel like one of these days I'm going to be like 48 and like a whole bunch, like 90% of the league's going to be younger than me. And they're going to be like, dude, I don't know why this guy is still sitting here, but he is. It's a crazy world. And I know that at the time that you left, it was not necessarily on the best terms. Very, very
Correct.
frustrating time.
Yes.
What's been going through your mind in the last few years? Just about the league, even if it's nothing, right? Nothing at all, but coming back and just saying, okay, like it's different now, or it's going to be different now.
Cam, I had the chance to go on a couple shows after I folded Portland to talk about it. And you know me, I can be a spitfire when I want to be. And I told each and every person, I don't have a comment. I choose not to comment because you don't burn those bridges. Because, when I found this league, when JV, took a shot on me, and when you took, a shot on a new owner, I've seen what the league has done. I'm excited for the future. And now that I'm in the right headspace, I can be a contributing player for Lexington, and we'll see where it goes from there.
I'm very excited for the future of this league. We've had done a lot of shuffling at the top, and for good reason. Just trying to get people in here since you left, right? Trying to get people in here that really believe in the people, right? That make it people first, that understand that, hey, this is about winning, sure, but it's about the people, and you always had that vision when you were in Portland.
Yeah, and Cam, that's truly what I've missed, is the community of the SFL. I've been here, I've lurked in the shadows. I've never left the server. I had my original account get seized for some odd reason, and I always came back in. I've always kept an eye on certain things. I've always said this team's going to win, this team's going to lose. And I've always said Vancouver was going to lose. It's always been a West thing for me, I guess. But I know they've won. But, hopefully here in Lexington, we can change that.
They finally got over the hump, and now they're the SFL's newest dynasty. As someone returning, what makes your head spin the most? What makes you go, huh? What happened?
Baltimore leaving.
Yeah.
I never thought that I would see that day. That I think that's the one. And my the guy that got me in, JV, there in Denver. That one kind of struck deep for me because I have mad respect for Jeremy Vega.
Mark, you're a two-time defending champion. Yes, everybody hates you. We love you, but we hate you, okay? You're just going to have to embrace it. It happens to the best of them. We all hated Mike Daggs. We all hated TJ and T-Pat. We all hated Jeremy Vega there for a while. You know what I mean? I mean, when these guys win these championships, they're coming after you. You just got to embrace it, Mark. You'll be fine.
I always seem to miss his championship runs. When I got Portland, he won. And but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, it's great to have you back. And looking forward to catching up with you guys at some point, in a little bit of a different setting. But hey,
Most definitely.
Lexington, that is what great owners do. Hey, shot in the dark here, Hail Mary, but you want to come back, and sometimes those type of things can turn a franchise around.
And Cam, before you let me go, that is exactly what Marco did. He's like, all right, I'm going to shoot this one to the moon. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to shoot it to Zeke. I'm going to shoot it to Mel. And, well, I think Zeke got it started, and then Mel, and then then I called Mel, and Marco, we won't let you down. I promise you that.
All right, Jacob, thanks for joining us on Free Agency Frenzy tonight. Welcome back, and glad to hear you're doing well.
Thanks, Cam. Take care.
All right, you too. That was Jacob Farmer of the Lexington Miners, still orange. And you never know what surprises you're going to encounter on Free Agency Frenzy. That was certainly a surprise over this past week. The final segment of our show, Mr. Eddie Gage, comes your way next as Free Agency Frenzy wraps up. Welcome back to Free Agency Frenzy, the final segment of the show. We got a couple of signings coming in. A.K. Jones leaves Mexico City on the defensive line. That's where the replacement comes from with Wint, and goes to Pittsburgh. And then King Alexander is back with Washington off the dev team from last season. We have Arizona's Eddie Gage with us to close out the program. Eddie, how you doing?
What up, though? I'm chilling, man. Actually, it kind of worked out great. Like I was just telling you a minute ago, I thought this was taking place later. I got my time zones mixed up, but the good news is we're on a break from class, so it kind of worked out.
Eddie, going to what's the class called? 2K4. No, does Mark? Who teaches that? Does Mark Lopez teach that class?
I missed that class.
He missed that class. So did everyone else, apparently. Mark's like, hey, where is everybody? He stole the notes from Dags, and he's been going ever since. Anyway, Eddie, let's get to some Arizona signings.
Sure. I'm actually sorry, dude. I had to get everything set up because I was focusing on school. So I'm releasing the returning players' contracts as we speak. You should be seeing them come across.
Yep, Ashley Jackson, DJ Moses II, Will Todd, TJ Punk, and T. DeQueen all coming back.
I'm hitting some more as we speak. I remember a couple seasons ago when we had Charles here. He hit the publish button at the wrong time and screwed my whole game plan up, so I got to make sure.
Well, he's in Pittsburgh now. You don't have to worry about him.
Is that where he went? Oh, yeah, that's right. He a fullback now, too, I heard.
Pittsburgh versus Arizona, week 1. All right. So, Hunter Norwood and Robert Brady also coming back.
Yeah, keep hitting the button.
And we also got D.D. Sachs, DJ Kilgannon, Rain Rie, and Sean Moore coming back.
Yeah, I'm coming back too, but I ain't signed my contract yet. But
You always leave the team sweating, Eddie.
no, I do got something. Man, let me tell you a true story. Hunter had me sweating because he sent me a DM and said, "Hey man, Vancouver just sent me a DM. They want me to sign with the team." I said, "Wait, what?" He said, "Don't worry about it, though. I ain't going nowhere." But he didn't sign his contract till about 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
come on, man. He had me sweating. No, but I think you should see them all now. Everybody.
Yeah,
actually,
Scotty
a couple
Kilgannon, Grant Hardaway, and Bernard Smith also back.
We got a few more too, but they one of them, he works overnight as a sheriff, so he didn't see it yet. And Eric Garrison in class, so he's gonna sign his when he gets out of school. I think I can say that now with the new rules because he's still on the team. But yeah,
That's
there
right.
you have it.
All right, so how about some free agents? What conversations have y'all been having?
Well, I'll tell you, Cam, this offseason, man, I don't know what's going on, but normally Ashley be on the money and we get our free agents quick. But this offseason, I was talking to some other teams too. It was kind of weird. But you know, we got the ball rolling. And eventually, we had, you know, man, I don't know if you heard, Cam, but all 5 of our offensive linemen retired this past offseason. And so it left us in a rut. I'm like, man, what the hell we gonna do? I didn't think there was no way in hell we would get 5 more, but we were able to make it happen. Cause we actually ended up getting 5 rather quickly, I might add. But then 2 of them, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, whatever the heck it was, you know, decided to go elsewhere and build out on us. So we had to kind of pivot a little bit. So go ahead and let me see if you can hit it now.
Chuck Steller re-signed in D.C. All right, Leroy James coming over from Miami at guard, and Finley James coming over from Miami at tackle.
Did I not hit the other one? Oh, hit it again, man. What you waiting on?
Can only do so many things at once. Sean Crooked's also back at tackle.
Yeah. So okay. So hold the whatever the line is. But gonna be some shuffling around because we had some things happening at literally the midnight hour. So we got some moves going around. So we got Sean coming back out of his retirement. He really didn't want to go, but he had some real life stuff going on. He couldn't really watch the games, but he's back in Arizona. Wanted to help us out, and so I'm happy to have him. But then as he was able to lure away Leroy James and Philly James, they are so excited to be here. Finley actually sent me a DM, said, "Man, I've been wanting to be a Scorpion since season 20. I'm like, "Man, what the hell you been waiting on then?" But he kind of sent me some proof of that because I didn't believe it. And then he sent me a reminder, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, you really did want to be here since season 20. Well, brother, it's better late than never. So welcome to the team. We got a couple more coming as well, but they just haven't signed a dotted line yet. That's be happening in the next day or so, I believe, or at least for one of them the next day or so, and the other one just stay tuned on because we got some stuff going on behind the scenes, and we should be sporting 5 offensive linemen again this season. But yeah, that was just weird. But moving on, I guess get to this one right away. Go ahead and hit the button now.
Jesse Fretz coming over at halfback.
I'm gonna tell you, Cam, this was something that I gotta credit our new, our co-GM, DJ Kilgannon on, because when he first came to me with this idea, I was like, bro, we gotta find option B because this ain't it. And he was like, why? And I'm telling him about all the things that, you know, I've been hearing and stuff like that. And so I was like, no, man, I'm not gonna do it. But he agreed. He convinced me to have a sit down with him along with the rest of our front office. And we talked, and at the end of those discussions, we both kind of agreed, both him and us, to part ways and go a different direction. But then, like I said, with those 2 offensive linemen leaving kind of last minute, well, not last minute, but late in the game, we had an individual come to us and say, hey, man, you know, I can help with that. And I think he announced it already because he can't hold water, but I'm not sure if I can say it yet because he didn't sign it. So I just keep that on the hush. But he agreed to actually fill in for a need for us so we can get that fifth offensive lineman. So that worked out. And so then DJ came to me again and says, Eddie, bro, listen to me, man. Just hear me out. And so we set up another meeting, and during those conversations, Jesse flat out asked me, Eddie, what are you afraid of? I mean, why not, what's holding you from signing me? And I flat out told him, like, bro, you known to have these long-winded talks. You talk a lot. It's a lot about, not necessarily about you, but, you're kind of up and down. And,
Who does that remind you of?
And it, not myself.
Okay, we'll let the chat decide.
But you're kind of in and out. I don't know, man. I just don't want to do it. I'm kind of scared, man.
Right.
And I got one person on my team, Hunter Norwood, Hall of Fame defensive tackle. He doesn't have an official position with the team, but I always defer to him. And I said, hey, in every season when we sign free agents, if he give me his blessing, we accept it. If he passes on, if he says no, Eddie, I look another way. And so at first he said, no, man, no way in hell. I'd rather run with a generic. And so we had those talks with Jesse again. And, he won us over. And I said, hey, man, listen, bro, this is a team. I love the culture of our locker room. I'm not trying to mess it up. If you come over here, man, just kind of read the room first, along with some other kind of bits of advice I gave him. And long story short, man, he kind of won me over. And I'm like, okay, all right, this might work out. And DJ was kind of snickering in the background. Eddie, I told you, man, it's going to work out. So we agreed to have him on. And I'm really excited because he knows my path with DJ Moses. I want to just, first of all, again, apologize to DJ because he was our starter for a long time, former MVP. He should be in the Hall of Fame by now, but because of other routes I took, he's not there yet because I made him our number 2 and sometimes number 3. And that's my fault, DJ. If you're listening, brother, I'm so sorry, but we're going to get this right. And hopefully I can get you in the Hall of Fame before I get up out of here. But I don't even want to talk about that right now. But, yeah, so we're going to try to get him in the Hall of Fame, and Jesse's going to ride his coattail alongside us with us and hopefully take us to a championship sometime soon. But, yeah, man, I'm happy to have Jesse here, and I'm looking forward to working with him, getting him in the locker room because he's really an active guy, and I like to get active people in our locker room. So, Jesse, man, you here, bro. You auditioning with us, and let's get it in. But I also want to credit Ashley Jackson, too, because she had a lot to do with this offseason as well, but we'll get into that as we go along. Go ahead and hit that button again, Cam.
All right, we got Mike Twinscrew coming at wide receiver. You've left him 6 minutes, Eddie.
Cam, Mike Twinscrew, bro, I don't know, but I've been knowing him a long time, and he was the second person to sign the contract. Once the signings came in, DJ Moses being the first, he was the second, and he signed it right away. I mean, he was ready to go, so happy to have him here. Been knowing him a long time, and we've been collabing on some things, and he's going to help us both on and off the field. Happy to have him here. Go ahead and hit that button again, Cam.
Xavier Solomon, Weapon X from Chicago.
Weapon X from Chicago, also going to help us both on and off the field. We've been talking to this dude a lot in the offseason. He made a lot of graphics for us already. He's already putting in work, and he loves to do it. Speaking of that, real quick, Cam, bro. So we lost Fox and we lost Talon Steele, 2 starters on this team. And I didn't realize it until the last game of the season when we was getting ready to play Anchorage when Dags reminded us that we threw the ball the second least times, actually had the second least pass attempts. And I'm like, man, I'm losing starters over this. This can't happen. Arizona, I promise y'all, we would not be we still going to run the ball, don't get me wrong, but we're going to be more pass happy as well to keep our wide receivers wanting to come back each and every offseason. So I'm looking forward to that and looking forward to working with my wide receivers to keep them happy. Where I'm at. Go ahead and hit that button again, Cam.
Jose Fuentes from D.C.
I felt kind of bad about this signing because me and Destro have a pact in which we do not poach each other's players, but we did not come to him. We didn't reach out to him until he became a free agent. And even when we did, he didn't respond right away, but it turns out he had some personal stuff going on. And we had a trade going on with another team. They ended up getting nixed because they was kind of taking too long. And he responded like the next day. And so we got him on board. And I'm happy to have him. He's a team first guy. He's already in our ear about team first mentality. He kind of remind me of DJ Moses a bit. And happy to have him on board because David Tilley retired, but we got him in the fold. So it is what it is. Go ahead, hit that button again, Cam.
Derek Majors, one of my favorite stories in SFL history, now going to Arizona.
He's another one helping us off the field. I'm happy to have him. He made a lot of graphics for us too, and he loves to do it. He also likes riding motorcycles, kind of just like me, so we kind of share some stories about riding. And he's kind of short on the cornerback side, and I really, at first, wasn't too interested in kind of working with him, but then I started running sims with him. I'm like, man, this dude is a ball player. And I'm looking forward to getting him on the field. Ernest McCray, I don't know where he wound up, Cam, because I was in school. But man, bro, kind of miscommunication there between both parties. I'm gonna miss him. I hope he got himself a good home. And
Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna miss him because, yeah, I kept him in the locker room until the last damn minute, and until we let him out the door. But happy he landed in his home state, and hope he's happy over there and they treat him right. So there you have it. I think I published all of them, Cam. I got a few more players who are waiting on to sign their contracts. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to next season and getting our offense cleaned up because our defense was asked to do too damn much. I really want to thank Ashley, Keith, and DJ, of course, for helping us get this roster together. And I'm looking to prove Hunter Noah was wrong on this one, but he did eventually end up giving us his blessing. So happy to have all these guys. Arizona, I love y'all, man. I can't wait till next season because the last season just ended too bad. From a first round bye to out the playoffs was just diabolical for us. But we're going to get it right, y'all. That's my job, and I look forward to next season.
Eddie, we'll see you later. Thanks much.
Yep.
Tox Muertos in the chat. What is this? You have stumbled upon the Simulation Football League, and we've been around for 13 years. Where you been? 13 years in one day, actually. The first game in SFL history was June 15th, 2013, and we've been on this channel ever since. All these players you see, all these names you see on the screen, these are real people. These are real people playing on a virtual football field. SIMFL, simfl.net for more information, because we're about wrapped up here on the free agency frenzy of season 27. So far, we've got, at the end of our program, we've got 344 players signed. Plenty more to come as we prepare for season 27. The next big show on this channel is the schedule release show. That is Wednesday, July 1st. And for the 10th consecutive season, Mike St. Green and I will be unveiling all of the schedules when the season begins on Friday, July 31st at the SFL convention in Denver, Colorado. Thank you to everyone who watched the show and had a good time with us tonight. It was an awesome opportunity to talk with people and teams around the league, and we hope you enjoyed yourselves. No, I'm not doing Game Day Gauntlet tonight. That is Sunday. We're done. Time to eat dinner. Y'all have a good night. And thanks for being here. SFL rolls on here on the Virtual Football Network.